Sean, I couldn't.
Stand by.
Oh, all right. I thought.
You need about 7 seconds of pre-roll for editing on these machines, so just hang
Okay.
in until we give you.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready, Carrie.
Sean, I couldn't help wonder last night when I was looking at Blade Runner and watching your performance. I just had to think back to Alien and Sigourney Weaver and what it did for her. And I wonder if you think about that maybe this film will do for you what Alien did for Sigourney Weaver.
I would hope that the film would do a lot for me. I don't ever compare myself to other people. I like Sigourney Weaver's work very much, and I know that Ridley does also. My hopes for this film, as far as my own career go, that's a difficult question. It's a very difficult question because, you know, you learn not to expect. You learn not to be disappointed. You know, you learn not to go out and expect so much that you'll be disappointed. I have a lot of hope for my career. It's oh, please, let's start that over. This was awful.
Right.
Cut! This gotta end. Gotta end. This was
Okay.
just awful.
All right, let me just ask the question
That
again.
question
then.
really
All
threw
right.
me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll start
I'm gonna
again.
start again.
Okay.
Actually, 1 second. Just chop it for a second.
Speed.
As opposed to stripes, you
Yeah,
know, the
fine.
two
Okay.
entire. Okay, we'll
Great.
talk about that.
Speed.
Okay. All right, now you're close on her, right? Yeah, be close on her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can cut it there, okay.
Okay.
All right, Carrie, anytime.
Of course, we saw you in Stripes with Bill Murray. You were one of the MPs. And this role, aside from being much, much bigger, is just the whole tenor of this picture is so entirely different. Was it difficult for you to shift gears like that, Sean?
When you go from a comedy to a role that's completely dramatic, it's very, very strenuous on you. When I originally got the role of Rachel in Blade Runner, I was very, very depressed about it because I wasn't sure whether I could make that jump into a character that's crying all the time, that has to have these emotions that come out all the time. And it was really frightening for me to think, you know, I'm going to have to walk in the set and I'm going to have to cry. I'm going to have to actually do that. And I would think that when I got the role, I'd be overjoyed. That's what one would normally think, but I wasn't, because there was a lot of fear about walking in there and being able to do the part because it was so dramatic. And when it actually came to pass, it wasn't so bad. And now I've come to the conclusion that it's a lot harder to do comedy than it is to do drama. And experience has taught me that, but comedy is really, the timing of comedy is much more difficult than drama.
Of course, Harrison Ford and Bill Murray, again, two entirely different personalities, aren't they? Bill, I know probably better than Harrison, although I have met him. Bill can be two different kinds of person, though, can't he?
Yes. Bill Murray has a lot of energy that he has to direct when he works. And if he doesn't direct it himself, take charge of it himself, it tends to go all over the place. And that's what causes him to be so many different people. He's got a lot of energy that is very difficult to handle. Anybody with a lot of energy has trouble with it, you know. I have a lot of energy, and I try to guard against letting it disperse all over every place, because all that does is make my work less forceful, and it's something to guard against. Bill's a very energetic guy and very funny. He's very funny just being around him. He's very funny. On the set, he's just very funny. And actually, Harrison's pretty funny too. Harrison, on the last day of shooting, had some really funny moments. You know, we had some really funny moments on the last day of shooting because we were 4 months ragged and we were finally finishing the film, and we were in this the last shot where we're both in the spinner and we're driving away, we're running away from all the danger, and we're both drinking beers. It's like the last shot. We're both drinking beers, and Harrison is saying to me, "You better not drink. You're slurring your words." And I'm slurring my words, And he looked at me, realizing that he was slurring his words as well. And he had finished his beer, and he took the beer can and he looked at it and he went, and he smashed it on his head. And then before he did that, he would take the beer can and he'd go to the camera before takes and go, "Gee, Marge, you make great coffee." He was in a very punchy mood because we were finally finished. So he has a sense of humor too. I think Harrison is very funny, and probably Blade Runner is the first role that he's ever had that really takes a look at his acting ability, his real acting ability.
Sean, what did you think the very first time you saw yourself in the makeup and the look that you have in the film?
In Blade Runner.
Uh-huh.
The first time I saw it was when we looped, and I saw it in black and white, because they make the prints in black and white for looping because it's less expensive. And when I saw it, I saw the shot where I first meet Deckard, and it looked like a 1940s movie to me. And it was a really astonishing feeling for me, because I had been dreaming about movies, and all the movies that I had watched were the movies of the Hollywood heyday. And when it was in black and white, that's really what added to it. And when the hair is so, Joan Crawford-ish, so 40s-ish. It looked like an old-fashioned movie to me, and I guess I was impressed. I was really impressed at the combination of people that had come together to create it.
And actually, was it a wig, or did they just dress your hair that way?
It was half my hair and half a switch that they connected at the back of my head and brought forward and tucked underneath. It was 2 hours worth of work in the morning. You got real antsy after 4 months of dealing with that. But my hairdresser was wonderful.
Well, I think you just give a fantastic performance. And
thank you.
I think that you now have definitely made your mark, and people are going to know who Sean Young is from now on. Do you have any other films coming out that you know of?
Yes, I have one coming out July 16th called Young Doctors in Love, and that's a comedy, and I play an intern, and I'm very excited about that film as well.
Was that done prior to Blade Runner?
Nope, it was done after Blade Runner.
Uh-huh.
Comedies seem to be released rather quickly. Stripes was released pretty quickly after we made it also, so I don't know why that is.
Not as much post-production, probably.
Not as much special effects.
Yeah. Well, Sean, nice meeting you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, now we'll just cheat around here for this, and you don't need to do the yes. Okay, is this a good look about here? Okay. Are you rolling?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, questions? Going from the role of an MP in Stripes to this role in Blade Runner was really a shift of gears, wasn't it? Okay.
You should try that question again.
Oh, okay. Going from playing an MP in Stripes to this role in Blade Runner was really a shift of gears, wasn't it? Of course, working with Bill Murray in Stripes, that was a comedy, but Murray is a person who has more than one side. How would you describe working with Bill Murray? People tend to think of Harrison Ford as being quiet and laid back. Is there another side to him we don't know? Thinking back on some of the difficult things in this movie, what comes to mind? What did you think the very first time you saw yourself in the makeup in Blade Runner? That should do it. All right, Sean.